Hey, how you doing? Duff here. Yes, this is my last day of my vacation, and I figured I'd take the Pint for a ride in my backyard. Some of you may remember, very early on my one-wheel experience curve, I had my XR out here in the backyard. And because it was early on my learning experience, it felt extremely challenging for me to ride it out here. You know, my backyard is very bumpy, lots of ruts, lots of uneven ground here. And at that time, you know, I didn't have confidence in my riding, and as a end result, I rode pretty stiff, and doing this kind of terrain was pretty hair-raising for me. But now it's not. And I'm on the Pint, which is actually more squirrely than the XR. You know, there's a lot more movement with this board than the XR with its big flat Vega tire. And I feel great out here, no problem. So we're just gonna ride around the backyard. I don't have to drive anywhere. It's a challenging but fun riding experience, and we can talk about my trip, Cindy's birthday cruise, and whatever else comes to mind. Now, I do apologize. I did put a poll up on the channel saying which vehicle do you want to see the next riding video be about. And technically, EUCs won that poll. 49% of the people wanted to see an EUC video, and like 35 or 36% wanted to see one wheel. But because I'm doing this ride in the backyard, it's a lot more interesting doing it on a one wheel than an EUC. So this is the way I'm going to do it. There'll be another EUC ride coming. Don't worry, no problems. So those of you that were brave enough to watch the entire 52 or 53 minute cruise recap video, which took me pretty much half the day yesterday to edit, because I was pulling in video from not only my GoPro, but from Cindy's GoPro session, from both of our phones. It was quite the chore to edit. So if you watch that, hey, look, check it out. We got hills back here. Can even ride hills in my backyard, sort of. Those of you that watched that saw that both Cindy and I tried it out riding the FlowRider, which is it's like a full-time wave machine. I've seen it before somewhere. I don't remember if it was on TV or whatever, but I've seen people doing this before, where it's basically a high-pressure stream of water that's shooting out from the front of the unit, and then there's a hill in the back, and just shoots this water over it, large amounts of water at an incredible speed, and it basically simulates a wave. It's like a permanent wave. And it looked interesting. We watched people doing it. We watched people that were brand new doing it, falling it on their face. And we watched some experienced riders that just, you know, zipped around on that thing like nothing. They were doing these hard bank turns. One of the guys that actually was one of the cruise ship instructors, he was amazing. He could jump off the board and do a 180 and land back on it, and looked like he wasn't even breaking a sweat. So, like anything, you know, practice makes perfect. At first, I was bugging Cindy to do it, and she was hesitant, but I bugged her enough that she actually agreed to do it. I used the logic, hey, when are you going to get a chance to do this again anytime soon? And the answer is probably not anytime soon, so she gave it a shot. So the way it works is, before you're allowed to stand up on the actual mini surfboard device, whatever you want to call it, you have to first do a session on the Boogie Board where you're laying down, just to get a feel for it. So Cindy did that, and I did that, and that was no problem. The biggest challenge with doing the Boogie Board for me was all the water hitting you in the face. I couldn't see half the time, but other than that, I had no problems controlling it, and Cindy did well on that as well, except when she tried to get up on her knees. She tried to jump onto her knees on the Boogie Board, and she went down literally 2 seconds afterwards. So. And it's funny, when you do go down, the water pressure is so high, it'll just push you up over the hill. Even if you're at the front, it has enough power to push you up and over the hill. And usually when that happens, some article of clothing is going to become dislodged. Cindy had her top get moved and her bottoms, And if you saw the video, you saw that my ass crack was exposed as well during my stand-up ride. So when you're riding that thing, they give you some basic instruction. They tell you to keep, like when I got on there, I wanted to put my foot similar to my stance here on the Pint, where my front foot is kind of like 45 degrees, but the instructor insisted that your feet should be 90 degrees. He said, keep your chest up high. I was kind of lurching forward a little bit. That was keeping me, that was kind of taking me off balance. But then after that, as far as the control of the board goes, it's very one-wheel-esque. At least when you're going in a forward direction, you are just, you're putting heel pressure to go back and toe pressure to cut forward, and then you just try to stay straight as well as possible. You'll notice on both Cindy's and my fall, what happens is if you lose that more or less straight trajectory and you catch an edge, that's when you're going to go down until you get the hang of making sure that whatever edge is facing forward is up. Because if that edge drops, it's going to just catch water and you're going to go right down. So that's what happened to both of us. Cindy actually did the stand-up riding twice. I only did it once. And I think that my PEV experience definitely helps me, the one wheel more than anything. I think it definitely helped me somewhat. I stayed up, I don't know, 10, 15 seconds, not that long. But I didn't feel all out of sorts. I think if I would have been able to get some appreciable practice time, I would have done better. But the problem is in that format, you get on the board, you go down, and then there's a line of, in our case, 5 to 10 people waiting to get back on. So you don't really get a lot of concentrated practice time where you can do that repetition to kind of work the bugs out. So it's kind of hard to learn in that scenario. They did have dedicated lessons. I think it was either half-hour or an hour lessons where you got more board time, but of course they charge you extra for that. I think it was 70 bucks, 80 bucks, I don't know. It wasn't cheap, so it was fun. We both got to say we did it, and we both did not make immediate fools of ourselves, so it was a good experience. The other athletic thing I got to do on the ship that I never did before was the rock climbing wall. That was kind of interesting. I always figured that I would do half decent at that because of my calisthenics background. I've done thousands upon thousands of pull-ups in my life. I still try to do max one set pull-ups every day. Well, not every day, but I would say 5 times a week, maybe something like that. I'll come out and I'll try to do 15 to 20 pull-ups. So I thought I'd do okay, and I did. I cleared the easiest wall, and then I did the medium difficulty wall back to back. I got a little tired by the end of that, and I didn't want to fail, so I didn't do the hard wall at that time, and with the idea that I'd come back and try it later. But unfortunately, I never got back around to try the hard wall. But it was cool. It's interesting because it's really all about the type of grips and the grip placement. Sometimes there might be a grip close to you, but it's like there's nowhere to hook your finger around, so you can't really grab it. It's just like a round knob. Those are good for putting your feet on, but those are not good for grabbing and pulling yourself up on. So it was cool. I wanted Cindy to try it too, but she opted not to. So yeah, it was fun to get to try both of those things for the first time ever at 51 years of age. And if you go back and watch the cruise video, it was all sorts of fun stuff. It was only a short 3-day cruise, but we jammed a whole lot of activity in that 3 days. But to be honest with you, it was long enough for me. I don't think that I would do good on a week-long cruise or longer. It just gets kind of crazy. And of course the expense piles up as well. We thought we got a pretty good deal on the cruise itself as far as the accommodations, but then cruising has all sorts of ancillary expenses once you get on board, like if you buy a drink package or what shore excursions you do. There's a whole lot of things that cost extra once you're on the ship. So if you don't manage those things well, you can quickly increase what you're spending by a large number. In our case, we didn't do too bad. We didn't get a drink package. I had a few beers while I was there. I didn't drink heavy. Cindy packed a couple bottles of wine, so we had some of that. So wasn't a problem. We paid to go on Coco Cay, which was that's kind of crazy. It's a private water park that Royal Caribbean built on an island near the Bahamas. We spent a whole day there. That was kind of fun. Went on the North America's tallest water slide, among other things. We had a fun day there. And then in the Bahamas, that was kind of just like a normal sightseeing day where we took a historical tour, and Cindy wanted to go through the straw market, and we even found a Dunkin' Donuts there. The only thing I was missing was a PEV to ride while I was drinking it. But yeah, it was good. Very good time. So yeah, the cruise gets an A from me. I would do one again. This is only the second time I did a cruise. The last time I did one was in 2003 on Carnival Cruise Lines. I can definitely tell you that Royal Caribbean is a step up from Carnival as far as the experience goes. I have been loosely trying to keep up with some PEV news. I heard some issues with the 1.07 firmware for the 16X. The latest thing I read about was something about if you take it off the charger without cycling the power button, that the wheel technically stays on, drains battery obviously, so I don't think that's as intended behavior. I don't know. Something introduced in the latest firmware, so I'm sure they'll tweak that. I haven't heard a lot of bad things about 107. You know, they did relax somewhat the speed limiting, so that should make some people happy. But yeah, I'm still waiting for someone to take me up for my Nikola for 16X trade offer. You know, all these people like to gripe about the 16X, but evidently either these people don't own a 16X, or they like it enough that they don't want to trade me for a Nikola. Still waiting for someone to do it. We'll make a video. While I'm riding around back here, I'm actually riding in the vicinity. You know, right there's the one corner. I'm riding in the vicinity of where my new solar array is going to be, which should be installed, I don't know, hopefully within a month and a half, something like that. Let's see if I can find the corners. Okay, right here's the one corner, just to give you an idea of how big this thing's going to be. There's a corner, here's a corner, and then let's ride to the other side. Show you where the other corner is. Way over here. There you go. So yeah, that whole big triangle or rectangle is going to be the solar array. It's going to be 48 300-watt panels mounted on a big rack with concrete pillars. It's going to be quite the production. Should be a fun thing to document. We'll see. While we're talking home improvements, I have Home Depot scheduled to come out in like 10 days or something like that. They're going to actually be re-stretching the carpet in the house. I had new hard floors and carpet put in 4 rooms back in 2015. And like after a couple of years, the carpet started to develop ridges, almost like the terrain that I'm riding on. And the bedroom was the worst because that has the most traffic, but it delivered, I can't talk. It developed ridges, which look like shit, and which basically are caused by the carpet loosening up. And, you know, for a long time, Cindy's complained about it, and, you know, I've never been happy about it, but I just kind of didn't really think I could do much about it. But then she was complaining about it again, and I recall the last time I was at Home Depot, they were in the carpet section, they are touting how they have lifetime warranty on installation. So I looked into it more, and called them up, talked to the store, and they said, yeah, it sounds like your carpet needs a restretch. We can do it. I'm like, okay, great. So they're going to be coming to do that. 10 days, 2 weeks, something like that. A little less than 2 weeks. So, which is cool, you know, because supposedly that will make the carpet look, you know, more or less normal again. What sucks is you have to clean out these rooms, including the room where my PEVs are and all my 3D printers. You guys have seen that room. There's an unbelievable amount of shit in there. So we're going to have to temporarily relocate a whole bunch of stuff to the hard surface area of the house for this restretch to happen, and then move it all back. So I'm not looking forward to that part, because we did it once before when the stuff was originally installed, and man, oh man, that was some back-breaking and time-consuming work. So this won't be quite as bad as that, but it's not going to be fun. You know, riding this on the Pint really gives me a good sense of how I've improved my OneWheel skills. I mean, I'm rocking back and forth like crazy here, and it's nothing. It really doesn't bother me at all. Here we go, up a hill. I have these, I have a slight mound around the house. Houses out here are built on mounds, like 4 to 6 foot mounds, so they don't flood during storms and rainy season, all that kind of jazz. So I do kind of have a small hill, but I have a lot more of these ditches. Ooh, whoa, 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 okay. That was almost a wipeout. I wasn't really paying attention to my approach, and I was really down on the nose, and when I came out of that hole, the nose stayed down. Yeah, that felt very, very close to cutout, but we're still rolling. We're gonna try a slightly deeper ditch here. Let's see what happens. No problem. Not as deep as I thought. I could try to ride through that shit, but that would not end well. I can report that OneWheels ride through fire ant mounds just fine. Right there is one. Fire ants cannot stop me. If we could only obliterate them. I'm very much a peace lover. I'm very much a hippie when it comes to not harming other creatures. Fire ants is one of the very few exceptions. To me, they serve no useful purpose other than to bite people. Here you go. There's another fire ant mound. Cannot stand fire ants. Although they are very resourceful, that's for sure. But man, you get bit by a couple dozen fire ants in a short period of time, you're gonna be hurting. You can buzz by the chicken area here. Let's see if the chickens are doing anything cool right now. Usually during the heat of the day, their big thing is just to kind of hide. They just go into shade and just chill out, try to stay cool. You got, oh yeah, see they're all on the run there. Hi girls, what's up? What's up girls? Whoa. Yep, there's Cutie Pie, Ginger, that's Georgie in the back. Hi girls. You got Kathy under the bench there. Fiona, Katie's in there. Hi girls. They're just waiting for like 5 o'clock. Usually 5 o'clock I go back out and I give them more treats. So they very much know the schedule. And I forget the name of the guy that keeps asking me to show them eating watermelon. I don't have any melon right now, but I will show it. But I can report that they do like lettuce and kale, and usually in the morning when we do have that in the garden, I will rip that off and give it to them, and they love it. They love eating greens and stuff like that. I can confirm that the Pint and the OneWheel app still do not play well together. This is your normal screen you will see when you're riding a Pint, unfortunately, at least for me and my iPhone 6S. I'm still waiting for it to show total mileage here. It hasn't even shown it. Let me do a simple stop here because I haven't done one in the grass yet. All right, let's see how simple stop is in the grass. Simple stop. Oh, it's not bad. Okay, okay, I just got an update. It knows that my battery is less than 50%. Nice. Oh wow, yeah, it says I'm at 27%. Only 2.1 miles. I didn't have this thing fully charged when I brought it out, so I'm down to 27%. And plus this kind of terrain, the board's working hard, so it's going to use more battery than flat surfaces. So yeah, I guess we'll ride around a little bit more and call it good. You know, I was surprised that I'm down in the Bahamas. I didn't see a single PEV. I didn't see an electric scooter. They have gas scooters. I didn't see an electric scooter. No OneWheel, no EUCs. And you would think, I mean, that environment, a small island, it would be a pretty cool way to get around, but did not see any. Of course, the streets aren't exactly wide, and the drivers are a little bit crazy, so riding on the road would be somewhat dangerous, I'm sure. But still, I did expect to see some sort of PEV down there, but none to be seen. You know what, I was just thinking, the best PEV that would probably train you for riding the FlowRider would be, well, I'm not sure if it's true or not, but just based on the way that I've seen how people ride it, the summer board. You know, it's that board where it really has 2 driving wheels underneath, but then a conventional 4 skateboard wheels on the outside. And you can like do, 180s and 360s and slide turns and that kind of stuff. I would think that might actually be the closest PEV to simulate a FlowRider experience. And I have thought about buying one of those in the past, and I haven't done it. Maybe in the future, I don't know. They're not cheap. Battery light's down to yellow, which means less than 10%, I think. Or is that less than 20? I don't know. Battery warning, less than 20. Yeah, it's getting down there. 2.5 miles. Whoa. Yeah, we'll call this a wrap, I think. Simple stop. All right, so there you go. Fun little ride around the yard. My backyard riding skills have definitely improved since I did this last time, for sure, which I'm very happy about. It's good to be back. Good to be back in town. It was a great trip, but it's always good to be back. And I think that's all I have for you for now. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. If this is your first time visiting the channel, please consider subscribing. If you're going to subscribe, you can think about hitting that notify bell out here to notify you of future videos. Feel free to leave your comments, suggestions, ideas, and thoughts below. I can tell you riding the Pint in the backyard was, the Pint felt as capable as the XR did in that environment. I didn't feel like I was underpowered at any point. Still love it, still love the Pint. But leave your comments, suggestions, ideas, and thoughts about the Pint below. And that's all we have for you for now. Talk to you again soon. Till next time, Duffman out. Elsa, come on, let's go potty. Let's go. Let's go potty, hurry up. Good girl. Pee pee. All right. Good girl. Can you imagine clearing out this room for a restretch? This is what I'm talking about. These kind of ridges in the carpet. Look at all this shit, man. Ay, ay, ay.